In this video, we'll transform a flat AI image into a 3D world, which is absolutely crazy. I really love it. And this works with almost every AI image, and you can use any AI image generator. Of course, we're going to use After Effects, and if you want to see more of these videos, do click the link in the description to join my masterclass. So many people have already joined, so that makes me really happy. Also, we're at 20k subscribers, which is so crazy. If you notice, I'm a bit sick, but even now, I'm so thankful for those 20k subscribers. Now let's jump into it. So I went to ChatGPT 4 with the OpenAI software, and I'm using this prompt to create a 16:9 image cinematic Japanese scene. And it created this image, which I'm actually really happy with. Gonna see if it works, and if it doesn't, I'm gonna use another image. First thing to do is just save this image, and just make sure that you also, when you generate something, that it's in 16:9. Then we go to Zoe Depth, and the link of this is in the description. And here we can just upload a image. Here you can create a depth map, and here you can also see what the software does. For now, we're going to go to image to 3D, and here we're going to add the layer basically. Then we're going to check the keep occlusion edges on, and this will basically create a better result. If we now submit it, it will create a 3D mesh. And we can already check our end result out here. As you can see, it's a bit dark, but we can zoom in, and we can even like twist this a bit to see if there's already depth to it. And as you can see, it already shows depth to it. Now, of course, if you really move it too far like this, then you can see a breakdown. And for some, for example, this blossom tree, it's quite hard for the image to generate a 3D mesh. But for example, with this little house, it works way better. So for some images, it doesn't work perfect. So you just need to test this out. Now we can just download it by pressing the download button. And let's now jump into After Effects. I'm gonna create a new composition in After Effects. And just one thing that you need to make sure is that you have the latest version of After Effects. Because the feature that we're going to use is basically a 3D importer, and that's only available in the latest version of After Effects. If you run the beta version of After Effects, that's also perfectly fine, because then you're also on the most recent version. Now you just have to check if it works for you, because again, this is already 2 versions back now as of recording this. So it might work in your version, it might not. I'm gonna create a 4K 25 frames per second, and just make sure the 3D render is set on classic. And then I have a composition. Now we can just drag the file that we downloaded. We can just drag it in After Effects. And now we can just drag this in our composition. It will say basically that it automatically changed to advanced 3D renderer. So if you want to, you can actually set that in your composition settings. But if we press OK, it just changes. So that's great. And this settings is also fine. We can just press OK. And I'm happy with this. But the only thing that you might have noticed is that it's inverted, because the shed that we had here was on the right side. So we just press R for rotation, and then you can just rotate it around. And if we rotate it, you will see also that it will become way brighter, basically how our image was. So you can also just type it in 180 degrees, and that's fine. Now this is already really cool. As you can see, this is our image. I'm quite happy with this. Now I'm gonna create a new camera, a layer new camera. I'm just gonna create a 1-node camera. You can also make a 2-node camera if you want to, and then change the preset, and then we can test things out. For example, if we do 80mm, it will look different than if you do a 35. I tested out a couple cameras, but for me, 35 works really well. So I'm gonna use the 35. And now if we press P for position, we can move the camera closer to the image. And as you can see, we have this immersive 3D effect. We can even fill the layer with it. And oh my God, guys, this makes me so happy. Look at this effect when we zoom through this. After a while, it breaks down. So when we basically go too far, and you will see this lamppost on the left basically warp a bit. So I wouldn't scale it as far as that. But what we can also do is just move the camera a bit from left to right. And that's also such a cool effect. And again, if we move too far, then it will break down. It will basically show the artifacts that we're using. For now, I'm just gonna zoom it a bit in, and I'm gonna keyframe it. But before I do, I'm gonna import a video. So I have some cherry blossoms that I'm gonna put over this image. So basically we're just gonna add this over it. Then I'm gonna right click on it, transform, and then fit to comp. Then I'm gonna change the blending mode to screen, because this is a black video. It will basically make it transparent. And now if I'm just gonna move this through a bit. Let's see. Here you can see these blossoms falling, but I also want to have them move with the camera. Now what we can do is make it 3D, but what happens then is that blending modes will be disabled. So we can use a extract effect to get rid of the black, but it's not as nice as the blending mode. So for now, I'm gonna not make it 3D and I'm just gonna move it around. So basically that it's scaled like this, I don't mind that much. I just select the blossom layer, press S for scale, make sure that we have some room to play with. And now I can move it around. Now, let's say we're gonna make the camera move from left to right. We can just set the position and basically go a bit further, maybe 5 seconds in. And now let's move the camera from left to right. I'm just gonna move it to something like this. And as you can see, here's the edge. So let's see, there's enough movement in this. There is. I think this is really cool. And I actually think we don't even need to animate the cherry blossoms, but what we can do if we want to, press P for position and then also move the cherry blossoms with the composition to add some movement to it. Just make sure that it's aligned well. And how I always do it is basically check the anchor point, that it's at the same position as the other layers. So let's just scroll through this. And yeah, there's a bit too much movement maybe in it, but that's also fine because again, basically objects that are more into the front will also have more movement anyway. Let's see what this looks like. I really love it, guys. And it really is that easy. And then you get something like this, and it's such a cool effect. You can do this with any image, and adding an overlay like those cherry blossoms really help to sell the effect. You can also add rain or maybe birds or maybe just some particles in front, some dust particles, some smoke. And then again, in the masterclass, I'm gonna dive deeper into this. So do join that by clicking the link in the description. Thanks again for all the support. I can't thank you enough. I'm so happy with the 20K subscribers. I'm really looking forward to where we're going this year. Don't forget to leave a comment and then I'll see you next time. Bye.